Welcome to Three Best Friends Podcast. My name is MC Wright, and I'm joined here by my two co-hosts, Jake Palmer.
Hi.
And Mike Towndrow.
Rolling around at the speed of sound, son.
Also, this week, we have a very special guest, and hopefully I don't butcher your last name. Please welcome Christian Puente.
Ohayou gozaimasu. Hey guys. No, that was perfect pronunciation.
Awesome. This week on the main course, we're talking purely about movies. The ones you love to watch the most and the one you never, ever want to watch again. So let's get into it. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Dang, right into it.
There's no housekeeping here. Nobody.
I mean,
Does the guest want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
No. I
Okay.
So let's do the movie you like to rewatch first.
Yeah.
Let's all go around doing that, and then the movie you never want to see again.
Yeah. So the movie I can watch over and over again. Ever since I was young, I watched The Outsiders. It had a great lineup.
Nice.
I'm writing that right now because I need to watch that still. That's another one. It's a classic one that I feel like I've seen it, but I know I haven't.
Yeah, that was one we actually read the book in high school, but I've watched the movie like a million times before I even read the book anyways. But the movie had a great lineup. You had C. Thomas Howell, Ralph Macchio, Patrick Swayze, Rob Lowe, Emilio Estevez, Tom Cruise, Diane Lane, I believe.
Yo, wow.
Everyone was in that movie.
So many people in this movie. So many people. And it was a great movie. Oh, Matt Damon. Matt Dillon. Sorry, Matt Dillon.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon's in everything. He comes in as Jason Bourne at the end and just goes right into those movies. No, Matt
We do it for Johnny.
That's right. We do it for Johnny, man. We do it for Johnny. Great stuff.
Mike, have you not seen this movie either?
If you look really hard at your phone, you'll see Mike just slowly moving away.
What's the movie you haven't watched?
I have not seen The Outsiders.
Dude, it's
eventually. It's fine.
No, you won't. It's one of those movies I think you definitely need to see.
Do I?
Yeah, it's a great lineup with a great story, and honestly, it's like one of my favorite classics. Well, it's made in the 80s, right?
Oh, it's definitely a classic.
Yeah, it's definitely
the book is at least.
Is it?
It is.
I'm joking.
The book is.
Yeah,
the book. Because the movie I think it was late 80s. I think it was 88. I believe the movie
There's something like that.
Something around
because everyone is young. In this
super
movie.
young.
Yeah, Macchio is still young. And,
Tom Cruise was super annoying in that movie. Like, he had some weird accent that had no business being in this movie.
That was one of his first movies.
Yeah, it was. And
half the cast you mentioned, I didn't know was in it. I only knew that Ralph Macchio was in it. I didn't know anyone else.
Yeah. And
so, wow, that was a surprise.
Patrick Swayze was definitely well into his career when this movie came out, wasn't he? Or was it just starting out as well?
Yeah. No. He was a big star at this point.
I think at this point, after this movie came out, a lot of people actually branched out and did a lot of things afterward.
Yeah.
Because I think Karate Kid was after Outsiders. If I recall
don't know about that one.
Okay.
Hey,
I
guess
want to
what?
say you're right, but
Yeah. But
Fun fact.
What?
Never saw Karate Kid.
Whoa, well, you are in luck because YouTube Red is just launched the sequel.
Yeah, I'll watch that first. I have seen the Jackie Chan mini Will Smith one.
that's not better.
It's pretty good.
What is wrong with you?
It's pretty good.
Oh,
It is what it is. I feel like I gotta change. I almost feel like I needed to change my answer for the movie I never want to see again. Now that you reminded me of that.
Jackie Chan Karate Kid.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad, but
I liked it.
Not something I want to watch again.
you wouldn't have if you saw a good movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Karate
If you
Kid.
actually saw the original one. Even Karate Kid 3 was better.
Hilary Swank.
Yeah.
Wait, no, that's next Karate Kid.
Was it?
Yeah.
I think you're
What was Karate
making
Kid
a
3?
$1 Million Baby reference.
No, Hilary Swank is the next Karate Kid. That's literally the title of the movie.
But technically that would have been 3, right?
Was it?
Like
Or
the
was
third
there?
one in the line.
I thought there was 3 and then the next.
Because I know he goes to
Karate Kid: The Next Generation.
Because 2 is when he goes to
Wait.
Japan. And I feel like the third one would have had Hilary Swank.
Wait, two? He's still in town because I think spoilers, guys. If you haven't seen Karate Kid 2, isn't that the one where he actually joins the bad gym, or he gets with the bad sensei, and he kind of starts corrupting him? Like, isn't it in that one?
God, I need to watch
No,
these movies again.
2's Japan. I could swear there was a 3 though.
There might be. I honestly don't remember.
If only there were international, a worldwide web of tubes of information that at a finger's touch would answer these questions.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
I'm writing it down on my napkin so I can.
Okay. When you Google Karate Kid, the first thing that pop up should not be the one with Jackie Chan. That's blasphemy.
See?
SEO.
No, that's blasphemy.
Okay, so Karate Kid Part 3, which I've never seen. I just now realized.
I
What
haven't
the hell's
seen it
wrong
either.
with you?
He does. He goes to the
Yeah.
other instructor for help.
Yeah. I haven't seen it.
I remember that one, and I remember bits and pieces of the one where he goes to Japan. But
Yeah, 2. That was 2. I like 2.
Yeah.
3 sounds like everyone hated it,
It got a 5.1 out of 10.
which is
on
why
IMDb.
Hilary Swank became the next Karate Kid, and then there wasn't a Karate Kid movie for years.
Yeah.
So The Outsiders.
The
But
outside.
yeah, the outside.
But no, the Outsiders actually, you branch off into all these different movies. Like, you have all this great cast, a great story, which, man, I love Pony Boy.
My
But Johnny,
hair
though.
right now is actually a callback to Pony Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Stay-
when I told my now fiance that, she's like, "What's Outsiders?"
Marrying a Good Woman.
Yeah, so I bought the book, and she's reading it now.
Good.
Did you all read it in high school, grade school?
I read
whatever?
it
I
in
did.
middle school.
Yeah,
actually.
middle school, high school. It for me, 1 through 6 was just like elementary, and then 7th and up was high
Elementary.
school. It was
Elementary.
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 Forgot to went to school in London.
Elementary. His
Hey.
teacher Crachos.
Hey, I went to this great high school called West Canada Valley in Newport, New York. So, bunch of hicks. Everyone's wearing cow
true.
crap covered
It's
boots.
quite elementary, Jake. It's okay.
Not Livia, sir. But so Outsiders is mine. Who
Okay.
wants to go next?
Like,
Mine is my favorite movie of all time, which is Little Shop of Horrors.
the movie.
Ooh.
The movie, yes, with
Rick
Rick
Moranis,
Moranis.
Yes.
Steve Martin.
Steve Martin.
I can't remember who voices.
I'm looking at it right now. Levi Stubbs, who
Oh yes.
I don't know who that is. Like
Uh,
his IMDb picture is interesting. Looks like a wrestler,
Oh man,
kind of.
Tisha Campbell and Tashina Arnold. Those two were in.
But yeah, I have such fond memories of every year we used to go on vacation in the Jersey Shore to Long Beach Island, and our first stop was this like mom and pop video shop, and I would always rent Muppet Treasure Island.
yes.
Of course.
Yeah, the best Muppets movie.
Yep.
I forgot what it was called, but this McDonald's pirate film.
Oh.
It was sick. It's like it like starts live action, then they do a like Page Master kind of thing, and it goes into the cartoon where they're on an island and for treasure with Grimace and shit. And Little Shop of Horrors. And then the first night we would go onto the island, we always got a just kind of like a shitty bootleg hotel until we could get into our condo. So I would just marathon through those 3 movies every single year as I'm building like whatever Lego that my parents bought me to like entertain myself. And,
What's a bootleg hotel?
you could imagine
In somebody's garage until.
I probably would rather stay in somebody's garage.
One of those hotels you'll get bed bugs from easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I mean that musical is just so ingrained into my DNA at this point. I do try to watch it at least once a year, sometimes more. Yeah, I first saw it on. Yeah, it's a musical.
Yeah, the music.
Some of the most
We're talking
fantastic
about
fucking musical.
we're talking about the one with Rick Moranis and the
the
fly
big
trap.
plant. Feed me.
Yeah, feed me, Seymour. The Steve Martin song is one of the best songs of all time. I remember seeing it on Broadway for the first time. I must have been in high school, and they did a really cool thing where the Audrey 2 actually comes into the audience. It kind of like them.
Yeah.
Just as a kid, that blew my fucking mind because I didn't understand that it was fake. I still catch myself humming Dentist and Downtown, stuff like that. Which I cannot give that movie enough love. I'll probably go home tonight and watch it.
I knew you had to pick a musical of some sort.
That's the thing, like all my stuff is like I have a list going, but this is my
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can't hear Mike.
Yeah, I hear you now.
I hear you.
Now I can hear him. Yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah,
that'll be fun editing out.
Whatever. So yeah, no, all mine are like musical. I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff.
There it goes again. I think something about the internet does not want you to talk about musicals because as soon as you start going, you know what? Because you're supposed to sing it. I guess you're supposed to sing your thoughts.
I'm not going to.
I thought you were going to say Sing Street.
Oh man.
I thought you were going to go there, but
yeah. Oh no, there's going to be another Karate Kid.
Maybe it's on the list.
Tangent.
I've never seen that, nor do I know what that is.
Oh man.
Sing Street's fucking fantastic.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I can vouch for that.
2016 came out?
Yeah, something like that.
I think that would have been my
Yeah.
I think that would have been my movie of the year.
That was mine also.
So good.
Sing Street is what I wanted my high school to be.
Yeah. Sing Street was... I know you didn't like La La Land, Matt.
Me? Matt.
Matt, I think you liked it, but I think it was overhyped for you.
It was all right. None of the songs I caught myself humming or singing later on or, anything. Which to me, if a musical doesn't have a song in there that you're not humming or singing later on that week or day even.
See, I'm always humming the one that he's humming. Mm-hmm.
Man, to me, the entire soundtrack I would just hum and listen to all day long. Like I was hooked.
If you didn't like La La Land, I think you would love Sing Street. I don't want to overhype it, but it was really good.
I mean, Grease is one of my favorite movies. So
yeah,
you would like Sing Street.
Yeah, you would.
I'm gonna write down Grease too.
Wait, I've seen Grease number 2 or
no? I also need to write down Grease before I have done Outsiders, Little Shop of Horrors, and Grease. Have some homework this weekend, I guess.
Yes, you do.
I might as well give. It's not really a musical. I'm just gonna give it a quick shout out since we're talking about musicals. School of Rock.
Yeah,
School of Rock.
Cool. Oh wow, that one's great.
So good. So good.
Yeah. I recently saw that on Broadway. It gave me fucking chills.
Ooh. That'd be an awesome one.
Tell me a bit more about Little Shop of Horrors. The draft house I go to is inspired by it. Like there's a bunch of weaving vines and plants with sharp teeth. So that's as much as I know about it.
Yeah, it's about an alien plant who can talk and pretty much survives this one dude's blood. He literally cuts his fingers open. He works at a plant shop, cuts his fingers open, instantly squeezing his finger into the Venus flytrap's mouth, and eventually the plant grows and grows and grows and reveals, spoiler alert, that they're trying to take over the world. It's just fantastic music. There's a B storyline of the main character being in love with the other the girl who works at the flower shop, and she's always in an abusive relationship with this crazy fucking dentist who sniffs his own nitrous gas and stuff, and just so fucking weird and so good.
How old were you, said, or do you remember when you got turned on to that movie?
Man, I mean, I probably before I could remember.
Yeah,
I had
same with mine. Yeah. Same with mine. I was just curious if it was because from what I understand, even though it's a funny movie, is it geared towards adults? Is what the impression I always got. So I didn't know if you were younger and you just hit for you, or if you didn't.
You can enjoy it if you're younger, but there's a lot of stuff
there's definitely things. It's like Ghostbusters.
That was what I was
there's jokes. Yeah. Because I mean, when I was a kid, I didn't understand that the dentist boyfriend was literally beating the main girl every night. Every time they went out, she comes to the shop with a black eye. I never understood that as a kid. But one day it clicked. It's like, fuck. Dark. Yeah, that's mine.
Just to go back to mine real quick, just so I don't have any older or anybody yelling at me later on. Outsiders came out in 1983, and then the original Karate Kid came out in 1984.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So,
yeah.
So Matt, what's yours?
So I kept going back and forth on mine just because I am a movie buff, like for video watchers. You can see all the games behind me and everything, but my movie library is that much bigger. So it's really hard for me because there's several different movies that I watch more than once a year. So originally mine was going to be Die Hard, but everyone kind of watches that on Christmas now. That's become a widespread thing. So then I was going to say Blues Brothers. Which
down Blues Brothers.
Could be it, but the movie I rewatch the most, or find myself rewatching the most, on my old iPad, there was only one movie I had downloaded on it anytime the power went out where I was living, which happened more often than not because they won't change the transformer. So my favorite movie to rewatch, and I watch it multiple times a year, is High Fidelity.
Fuck yeah.
Which
there's a reason. What was that? Episode 1 is High Fidelity.
Right. Episode 2 I think is High Score Fidelity.
Yeah.
But no, funnily enough, I didn't get into this movie until maybe my late teens, early 20s. I actually did rent it from Blockbuster when I was maybe like 10 or 11. Yeah, because it came out 2001, I think.
Sounds right.
But it was funny because I thought on the cover, I didn't think it was John Cusack. I thought it was the dude who played the bad guy in Home Alone 3.
The French guy.
Image. Yeah.
Never seen Home Alone 3.
I love Home Alone 3.
So we popped that in, thinking it was just going to be a comedy, and the opening to the movie, my mom's like, "What are you watching?" No, you're not watching. I got back into it later in life. Oh shit, I remember I rented this movie when I was a kid. I love that movie so much, just everything about it, the music, the breaking the fourth wall, the characters. Jack Black, I love that Jack Black. He's a nice guy.
He's a nice
guy. I love that Jack Black is a young boy. That boy.
I will regularly look up on I'll play the scene of him performing Let's Get It On. Like his version of it is just so funny but really good too. Like I listen
it's awesome
to that
because that's on the vinyl.
Yeah.
It's the last track on the vinyl. Yeah.
Nice. It's just such a cool, it's I haven't seen it in a long time, but that scene definitely sticks out a lot.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a long time. I do want to rewatch it.
Mm.
Yeah, every time like that, the scene where he comes in late and he puts on the cassette with the Monday Morning Blues songs. So anytime like I actually have a house to myself or anything, that morning I always put on Katrina and the Waves, Walking on Sunshine, because of that movie.
Quick side note, speaking of you renting what you thought was a comedy or something, like a kid's movie when you were too young. I rented Jack Frost, thinking it was the Michael Keaton one when I was really young.
And the one with the holographic, this horror one.
Yeah,
we talked about that last week too.
That's a callback to last week. Yeah,
I talked about that one thinking it was a kid's movie, and my parents were like, "No, you can't watch that one." I'm like, "Why?" And then I go back later and you see why, and you guys tell me about a certain scene that happened, and I see why.
Yep.
The Kind of Funny guys recently brought up that same confusion in like a recent episode or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
well, I still say
something in the air has Jack Frost going on.
I still say that the Michael Keaton one is a prequel to the horror one.
Yeah,
that's a great headcanon. I was gonna say, Die Hard. I barely got around to watching that actually, like probably a year or a year and a half ago. I hadn't watched them at all. I was aware that they had like a really big following, but I never made time for it, I guess. Again, one of those out of sight, out of mind kind of things. And for Christmas, one of my best friends actually got me the whole set, and it comes in this giant,
Nakatomi Plaza. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the tower, and at the base, it has like a little compartment with all the movies. And so I just like marathoned them all And yeah, some are better than others, but that first one is I see it. You know, like I don't feel like it was overhyped. Like I feel like it's appropriately praised for what it does. Like. And everything it did, you know.
Bruce Willis before he became a total asshole.
Yeah. So
I never watched them.
Oh my god.
What, Jake?
We need to like create a list of movies that Mike has never watched and make him watch.
And just create a show. Yeah. Mike's
like,
backlog.
Yeah. It's just.
You've never seen Die Hard?
Man, that's actually like a good name.
I like the show idea better than the drinking idea.
Yeah.
Fuck that drinking idea.
So, Die Hard is like one of your Christmas movies to watch, you said.
Yeah,
like
I watch it every year.
See, that's Home Alone for me. I feel like every time Christmas.
So I have like a list of
definitely.
like 10 movies I watch every year for Christmas. Yeah. The most recently added one to that was The Night Before with Seth Rogen.
I think you're just abbreviating Night Before Christmas.
No. Anthony Mackie and what's his name? But Nightwing.
Yeah, Jessica Gordon-Levitt. JGL.
Jessica Gordon-Levitt. Yeah. So that made it onto that list. I love that movie.
It's a good one.
It was really good.
Yeah, I have a pretty polarizing Christmas movie list.
Yeah.
Mine's Star Wars.
Man, I'm looking up the year it came out, 1992, Home Alone 2. And the reason why I wanted to look up the year is because I vividly remember like seeing the trailers for that on TV for Home Alone 2, and I wasn't old enough to ask to be taken to see a movie, but I can vividly see like the TV and being like, "Yo, what's up? That looks interesting," and wanting to watch it, but obviously having to wait until VHS much later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I like 3 better than 2.
No, that 3 is another one that I'm like, you know what? If I thought about that sooner, I probably would have added that to the list of movies.
Maybe because maybe living in New York, like the magic of being lost in New York is just like whatever to me.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
it's like I can never get lost there.
You're not or just fucking walk a couple blocks and take the train.
I will say the pizza looks exactly like a New York pizza should be. I miss New York pizza.
I've never had it. I want it. It's a lifelong dream.
Oh, it's so good, dude.
Plus, the only thing I've had that anything has been marketed as New York pizza was the Pizza Hut's Big New Yorker back in the 90s.
I remember that back in the day, yeah, that New Yorker.
Yeah.
I had tried like a pizza slice while I was out there, but I worked really weird hours, like overnight hours, and everything was closed wherever I was working. It was really hard to get pizza in the middle of the night for where I was anyways.
Next time, go to 14th Street, go to Bros Pizza. You get 2 slices and a can of soda for $2.
Yeah. That sounds perfect. That sounds awesome.
There was a place back where I used to live in New York where it was like a huge slice of pizza. It basically was like 3 slices of a normal size pizza. And it was like $1.25 with a cup of soda.
Yeah.
It's like
dollar pizza.
I need that. That sounds awesome.
See, that's where the accent came out a little bit.
Yeah.
Dollar pizza.
There it is.
Yeah. There was only one place that on my way home was open, but I couldn't get home until very late, and they only had like the weird flavors, like I don't know, some kind of like chicken masala pizza or something like that. And I was like, I don't know if like I really need to be sleeping with this thing, you know,
weird baby
going on.
Right.
And they didn't take cards, and I'm such a card guy. I didn't realize New York was such a cash, you know.
It's probably better now.
That's actually weird.
Yeah,
it's probably better now.
Yeah. But so last but
there's a
not
couple
least,
diners. There's a couple diners that are cash only. Sorry to interrupt. Continue with the actual podcast.
It's okay. It's okay. This is only the video format. People are going to see this anyways. So last but not least, Christian.
All right. So
I thought I was.
What I will say first is that this is not my favorite. I'm going to say that this is not my favorite movie. If I was to rank my top movies, this is not number 1. This is up there.
Right. No, that's actually why I did this episode, because it'd take me probably a month just to figure out what my top 5 movies list is.
So this one's on my top list, but I'm not going to say it's number 1. But it is one of my favorites to watch. And if it's on TV, I happen to walk by, I'm going to sit down and just watch the list. And whenever the Draft House pulls this out and decides to have like a fan event, I go check this out too. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Back to the Future.
Yes!
It's just...
Hey, Mike just saw that movie.
Exactly.
I did. I just saw him.
All
Yeah.
Draft House.
I hope you don't mean do you mean for the first time, or...
Yeah, for the first time.
What? Oh my gosh.
The first episode we actually recorded and we actually didn't put up was us talking about the Back to the Future movies, because he went to the event and watched all three of them for the first time.
Then, okay, I mean... I'm all three have their good and their bad. Obviously, 2 and 3 have more bad than the first one. So just, I mean, since this is like quote unquote my movie or whatever, I'll talk about it in a bit. But I would love to hear just a little bit from you. Talk about what were some of your first impressions of the first one.
It's weird. Like I somehow didn't really know anything about it going in.
What?
Like I knew it was like
so easy to hear about like movies and plots and stuff. Like
yeah. I mean, I knew it was a kid and an old man going back in time. Like, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get back to the future. Dude, no, I was just like, from as soon as they hit the 50s, I was just totally enamored in that world. And it was just so believable, and the science made sense to me, especially at like fucking 8 o'clock at night after a long ass day at work. I was like, yeah, dude, fucking whatever, yeah. I felt the stakes, which I feel like I haven't in a long time. First watching a movie. Even like the MCU stuff, it's like, oh, the good guys are gonna win. I genuinely felt like they were gonna get trapped, and like Michael J. Fox was fucked.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And then it was really funny watching them in a row. Change the actress from the girlfriend, and it was super jarring watching one, and then a 5-minute break, and then two. When that final scene, it's like, oh, it's fucking. It was really funny watching it in theater because I was bursting out of laughter.
And
3 was fine.
3 has its moments. I like the scenario, like just like visually. I like that it's in the West. I just some of the humor didn't land the same as the first 2 ones.
Yeah, no.
But
it felt more pity.
Yeah, that's funny that you mentioned the like the change in the cast from the girlfriend, because her name's Jennifer, right? It's been a while.
So
yeah. So like, I watched. It was like. Enough time passed between the two that I didn't notice it was a different actress. But yeah, I guess since you marathoned them, like it's really obvious. Yeah, it's one of those things that like I don't know, some kind of article online like we talked to the original Jennifer, and I was like, wait, original?
Like what?
Yeah, right. I had that whole moment, and but yeah, same like what you mentioned with like Little Shop of Horrors. I can't remember how young I was when I watched it, but I know like growing up, you'll see it on TV replaying and being like, this looks cool, but
yeah.
Until I eventually got around to watching it myself. But man, I feel like I don't even got to tell you guys. Like, y'all know, but just for people listening at home, yeah, it's just obviously such a fun movie, not only visually, but in the storytelling, the performances, you know, Christopher Lloyd as, not Christopher Lloyd. I always get... Christopher Lloyd and fucking...
Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, honestly, though, I always get Christopher Lloyd and John Lithgow's name confused all the time.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know, because they're both like all old white dudes. Like, yeah. John Lithgow is that actor from Third Rock from the Sun. But anyways, back to the Future. Yeah, like I mean, the characters are all like really good. Like it's like a really cool adventure. It's another one of those movies that I'm so glad that all the problems in the production happened the way they did, because I saw the behind the scenes about like what originally the ending plot should have been, and it just sounds like
plus we almost didn't even have Michael J. Fox as the lead.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. I remember seeing the original promo with the other actor.
Yeah, that would have been a way different movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like Star Wars, another example where like if they had actually gone through with everything George had on the script, like it would have been kind of like a really weird movie. So it's another movie that like went right in all the right places, and all the things that happened behind the scenes wrong happened like perfectly to get us just this perfect movie that is such a cool adventure. And like you said, like the aesthetics of like going back to the 50s, it's very romantic look at the past, and it's good to take like a vacation from the present day and spend a few days in quote unquote a simpler time. Obviously back then there was like a lot going on that was wrong to you. You know, a lot of, you know, stuff that we're still working through right now. But that, you know, at least the movie, what it's presenting is like this really romantic version of, you know, the United States.
They like barely nodded to it. What was
Yeah. But the music too, such a recognizable soundtrack up there with Jurassic Park as far as iconic, you know, themes. Oh man, it's the special effects for the time too.
Lewis in the news.
Oh man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mondo has a great pressing, like the art look of the Back to the Future.
Oh, I know. I almost bought those.
Yeah, I was pretty close to buying those too. It's still on my list to get because those soundtrack, at least 1 and 2. I know the soundtrack is really good. I don't know about 3. I can't remember the soundtrack from 3 too well.
But yeah, and although we only had over 3 movies, in a way we still get, you know, a somewhat version of it. Like, in obviously Rick and Morty takes so much inspiration from the relationship of Doc and Marty, you know, and so it's cool that it's had a great influence even on the present. You know, the last movie that came out, you know, so long ago, and we still, you know, it still resonates with us to this day. You know, having an adventure with this, you know, unwitting hero and like the dangerous father figure, or whatever you want to call it, you know, mentor.
I know it was a joke on IGN's part. I would still see Fast to the Past.
Oh man, that was such a great April Fool's when they combined Back to the Future and Fast and Furious. Oh my gosh! To those who haven't seen it, definitely check it out. I don't know if you have YouTube or Google, but you know, look up IGN April Fool's, Back to the Future, Fast and Furious. It's cool, yeah. And I mean, I honestly would love that because that'd be a great way to save Han. You know,
Yeah.
Hashtag Han lives. You know,
technically anything can happen in the Fast and Furious series. Like Han could still be alive.
We need Han back.
We do.
Like,
we do.
We need someone right now.
Yeah,
it's hurting.
Yeah,
the wound's still fresh.
Yeah. Now they're doing the Hobbs and Shaw movie.
Yeah,
working on that. Which
who's directing that?
What's that?
Do you know?
I'm not sure who's directing that one.
But Justin Lin's coming back for the next Fast and Furious movie.
Yeah.
9 and 10, and apparently 10's the last one.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm sorry.
Apparently.
I'm sorry. I just want it to be done because it's just not. I know the movies aren't the greatest movies in the world, but there's really a lot with Paul Walker.
Well, yeah, that's true.
It's
2 and 4 are the worst ones.
4 is where I stopped.
You know what? 2 and 4, yeah. I'm just glad you didn't say Tokyo Drift because that's honestly one of my favorite.
I think that's my favorite.
So many people hate on it, but man,
it was definitely different. So like when it came out, like I was like, and I was hating the marketing on it because it's like a new kind of racing. Like drifting has been around for a long time.
Dude, that was the first time I'd ever seen it or heard of it.
Fast and Furious.
I was like, "Yo, what's going on?" Man.
But
my problem with it,
watching it, that movie's amazing.
Yeah. My only problem with it is that main actor. I can't stand him.
The accent.
Yeah.
No,
I forgot his name, but
I know the main character's name is Sean. I can't remember his real name, but
I think
that was a lot of problems with everyone. Yeah. Did we want to do honorable mentions? Like just a quick list.
No,
sure.
let's do that after.
Okay.
We get to the bad ones.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So, Jake.
Yes.
What's the movie you never want to see again?
It's a tie. There's 2 movies I really want to see. It's a tie. The one I will say the one that I spent money to go see that I never ever want to see again, Sucker Punch.
I bought that on Blu-ray for like $7.
Ugh.
Why?
No. Oh, such a
appropriate answer. Shrug.
That's all you can answer with that movie. I remember going to see that movie and I was like really excited to see that movie, and I thought it was going to be really good because it was this.
I mean, the trailers are dope. Don't get me wrong. Like them, those were really cool.
Was this after Watchmen? I believe.
Yes, it was.
So I thought, I'm like, hey, Watchmen was great. This movie's going to be pretty cool because especially the way it looks.
Mm-hmm.
Total drag fest, all the way through. Like the whole movie.
This is gonna sound bad. This is gonna sound sexist. Nudity would have saved that movie. It would have been at least watchable at that point. Would have been at least watchable.
If you turned it to porn with a plot, maybe, but it still didn't have a plot. It was
just weird because that's almost like what it was going for. There isn't a single nudity shot in that movie. God, I sound so bad right now.
I get what you mean.
But the plot on it, like the plot sucked.
Yeah,
the plot was terrible.
I thought even the action scenes would have been really cool, and it's just they didn't deliver.
They didn't work.
No.
As far as like maybe things that might have helped it was not actually having the So I mean, it should have just been what the trailer sold it as. Like, hey, you're following a couple of characters in fantastical environments. You know, obviously there's different worlds, different environments, different costume changes and enemies. It should have just been some kind of weird,
took
something different, either planet jumping or dimension jumping, something that did not have this grounded, because I think that was the worst part, was that like, oh, this is all just, it takes all the stakes out, just realizing that like, none of this is actually real. This is like the imagination of this girl, and
like,
she's actually in
Mars and Wonderland because trauma.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yes, there are stakes because like she's gonna get that procedure and stuff, but you don't really feel any of the stakes of the visuals. I got these giant samurais and robots, and it's like none of that's real though. Yeah. And that was like the biggest like twist for me that like took the movie like that took a lot of the what I thought would have been enjoyment out of like, well, none of this is real. Obviously none of it's real because of the movie, but like if it had just been, hey, we're following a character and in this world she's this and then she goes to that one. But oh man, I think that would have helped if they just cut out the whole like, oh, actually she's in a psych ward and
Yeah, it was just a huge letdown. I think I almost walked out of that movie and just I should have walked out of that movie.
I just can't remember if I watched that in theaters or if I rented that or not. I can't remember.
I know.
I own it.
Yeah.
I want to get rid of it so bad.
Oh, I know. I specifically went to the theaters. Oh, you're lucky. You're so
lucky.
Lucky.
That's one I won't chastise you on. That's good that you haven't seen that movie.
No.
I'll do that before the Goonies.
I'm writing down the Goonies, guys.
Matt,
this has been a very.
Matt, who have we agreed to do podcasts with? These people have never seen good movies.
I'm the only one prepared. I brought popcorn.
So, what did that tie with?
Yeah.
Jake.
Oh, Batman and Robin.
Oh.
Batman and Robin, which is bad. Like,
I would watch any of the Batman movies.
I can watch that movie ironically.
I can't. I can watch Batman Forever, but I can't.
Arnold Schwarzenegger in that movie.
Forever, I can't do.
Really, I can do Forever before I ever do Batman and Robin. Batman Forever, I can always make fun of. It's just funny, stupid because of Jim Carrey, and then Tommy Lee Jones's Two-Face is just weird, but funny. But George Clooney as a Batman. Hey, I'm Batman. Hey, I'm Bruce Wayne. Oh, good job.
Here's my credit card.
Yeah, I'm like, you didn't even change your voice. At least Val Kilmer had more acting chops in Batman Forever than George Clooney did in Batman and Robin. Because George Clooney didn't even care, and then he didn't even bother to change his voice for Batman. And just
is Joel Schumacher, man.
Yeah, and then
I think
I don't know, it was. And then when you click your heels so you can get bat skates. Oh no!
For some reason, all of that worked for me. Like just the silliness of it, like
I don't know,
like him just being like kind of smarmy, like that worked for me. Yeah, like I don't know.
It didn't. I will say Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy was at least decent. That was actually decent, but I think that was the only decent thing out of the whole entire movie because Bane was complete horse crap. He was
still Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's totally tongue in cheek, but I love it.
In general, I've always been really good about, and even still now, I feel like I'm really good about separating the different versions of, like the different. I'm not trying to. How does the word come out? Like my definitive Batman, like my favorite, like Ride or Die, is the animated series,
of course.
And And because of that, I can separate my feelings every time there's a new one. Snyder one or the Christopher Nolan one, like I look at them as their own standalone things, and I think a lot of people are like, "No, this isn't like what the comics are like or anything like that." I'm like, "Well, yeah." So I think that's part of why I was able to enjoy, I don't know if enjoy, but I didn't treat them like, "Oh, you're ruining my Batman with this." It's like
if Batman and Robin is on TV, I don't watch TV anymore. But like if it was on a TV, I'm going to turn it off. Like it's stupid fun.
See,
There's definitely worse movies out there.
See, I can't.
Oh yeah.
See, for me, I can't. Like Batman Forever, I feel like I can at least watch because of Jim Carrey. Like Jim Carrey's in most of the movies.
Yeah, I mean that was during peak Jim Carrey.
Yeah. And he carries that movie very well. I thought even him like being older, I think he would make an awesome Riddler. Like
Jim Carrey's that movie.
I hate you so much. I really do. I shouldn't even acknowledge it. But I feel like he made it better in a way, just where it's watchable. And it's like a lot of his quotes I can still quote because they're just stupid. But it's like a lot of the stuff from Batman and Robin, I don't know, I just can't do. I can't deal with it. But
I think its biggest, like what it had most against it was it came out so close to beating Batman.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people see it as like the same universe. I think it tried to be.
They technically tried to make it into one universe, but it just
is it not? I assumed those are all the same timeline. We're just seeing different,
just different actors.
The 4 movies.
Well, they try to make it into the same universe, but
like I think Batman and Robin is.
Those 4 movies are technically
the 4 are the same
timeline because of Alfred. It's shared.
Right. They shouldn't be, but they are.
Yeah, Batman at that point became a James Bond role to where anybody could fill Batman's shoes or nipples.
Yeah.
If the head of WB ever came out though today and saying, by the way, we're just kind of retconning this, kind of like what Miyamoto did with the Zelda timeline. Like if they ever came out and said, you know what, the Michael Keaton ones are their own thing, and these other 2 are, on their own too. Like I think that'd be really cool.
I mean, in my head, I always viewed Batman and Batman Returns as its own separate universe, and then Batman Forever and Batman and Robin were in the same universe. But because you can't compare Batman and Batman Returns to the other 2.
So good.
You can't. It's just, those 2 are so dark and so good. They actually tell a good story. Whereas it's just they were just cash cows for Batman Forever and then Batman and Robin.
Have you guys ever seen the doc about the Tim Burton and Nick Cage Superman?
No, but that's one I really
fantastic. Highly recommend it. It's really fantastic.
Part of me, I'm glad it didn't come to light, but at the same time, you kind of want to know.
A Nick Cage Superman movie.
There's footage on that doc.
Yeah.
I gotta check it out. I'm writing that one too. I remember when the Kickstarter was out for that, and that's a cool idea. Like
a little tidbit from it: a lot of the assets from the Superman movie went into Wild Wild West.
So I learned about that from the Kevin Smith stand-up. He talks a little bit about.
Yeah, he talks about it. Kevin Smith is in the doc for a little bit.
Oh, really? Nice. Yeah. Even more words. Check it out.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. So those are my 2 movies I cannot stand to ever watch ever again. I think Mike is next.
I feel like you guys possibly never heard of this, or definitely never seen it.
Same with mine, so don't worry about it. You're good.
Mine is a movie I paid for to go see in theaters, and I stayed for the entire time. It's Meet the Spartans.
Oh,
I know what movie that is, and I knew I would never watch that movie.
God.
No.
I don't know why. Back in not even high school, whenever the hell that came out. I guess high school, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it was
it was after 300, and this was when the massive scary movie spin-offs were happening.
Not another teen movie, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not another teen movie. Terrible.
No, not terrible. But it was in those lines of what it was supposed to be, like the spoofs of all the other.
Yeah, exactly. And they just got fucking out of hand for whatever reason. Every week. On Fridays.
You cut out.
And that week. How about now?
You're good.
Yeah.
Fuck. Every week on Fridays, we used to just go to the movies and hang out or whatever. And that week, that was the only thing playing. And we walked out of the theater and we're like, I wonder if we get our money back. And the lady was like, no, you stay for the entire movie. You're not getting your money back. And that was it. Yeah. I don't remember anything about it. I just remember fucking despising it. I'm glad I remember nothing about it.
Yeah.
So I got much to say on top of that.
It looked bad.
Yeah.
Not as in like bad story, which I'm sure it was, but I'm saying like it looked like there was no effort into it. As from a production value, even though I want to say at least the first two scary movies, like even though those are silly,
I really like them.
I enjoy them.
I was saying they stand up because you feel like they're parody, but there's a good spirit to them. Like they are making fun, but also playing homage and in a way respecting, the properties that they're making fun of. And whereas this one, it was like it didn't have any of that. From what it looked like, I still haven't seen the movie, but I'm saying
definitely not.
Why I never watched the movie was because it looked like it wouldn't, like it wasn't even appreciating, that. Like
I'm trying to see what it spoofed. Like if there was a list, but I'm looking at the poster. I see.
Was that the one that's
I see Black Suit Spider-Man. I see Ghost Rider.
What was the recent one that spoofed
I see Shrek.
Like Fast and Furious?
Oh no, I was actually going to talk about that because somebody because that came out right around 7, right?
I believe so.
And somebody's like, "Have you seen this movie on Netflix? It's awesome." Like, I'm not going to go see that Fast and Furious movie. Like, this spoof movie came out right after 7, which 7 for Fast fans know that movie's fucking, they'll make you cry at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And these, I almost punched this dude. Like, you're talking shit about the Fast movies, and you want me to watch this movie that's basically talking shit about somebody who died. I'm like, no, I'm not fucking going to that.
No,
I didn't know they made one for Fast.
Yeah. It's still like a dead type of franchise to make a movie on, and they still do it somehow. I think it's direct. It's like
one of the Wayans brothers still does them. Like they just
I thought they did dance movie. I don't think they do any of the other ones.
They did.
They do one for
right?
Paranormal, and they do one for 50 Shades. Yeah. They just came out this past
year. That's right. Yeah.
But those probably
there's an infamous duo of dudes that did Meet the Spartans and other shit.
I think they had a falling out. That's why every movie got a little worse because it's less of the original crew.
I will say this: I saw Date Movie in the theaters. There is a joke in that movie that floored me. It's when she gets on the motorcycle and drives away, and then the next cut, it's like this super burly black dude that's driving the motorcycle in a wig, and I just busted my ass laughing at it. Because, it's a stupid joke, but it was funny.
I haven't seen Date Movie in a long time.
Yeah,
I've never even heard of that. I might have to look at the trailer later, just out of curiosity.
Don't worry about it.
Probably don't need to.
Well, Meet the Spartans, huh? I mean, there's plenty to make fun of in 300, which is what it was making fun of, but it didn't look.
That's the thing. I think 300 was just so big at that time. We just wanted more. So well, let's go see something that's gonna make fun of 300. It's gonna be great, but
no.
Matt, what you got?
So mine. Saw this morning after a party at a friend's house. We were all up early for some reason. A party, we're all drinking and we're up at 8 a.m. for some reason. Doesn't make any sense. And one of my friends puts on a movie. I have no idea why he had this movie with him. He claims that he loves that movie. So a movie where we're all hungover at 8 a.m. and he puts on the movie Kids from 1995.
I don't think I've heard of that. Kids?
It is Rosario Dawson debuts in that movie.
Yeah?
I forgot about this movie.
It is a hyper-realistic slice of life film about teenagers in New York in the 90s.
I mean, on paper, that sounds cool.
Basically, a cautionary AIDS tale.
Oh.
Because there are very, very simulated sex scenes with teenagers.
Rated NC-17.
Uh-huh.
No wonder I'd never heard of this in 95.
Yeah. Things in that movie that you never need to see.
What was it about your?
I get why it was made. And to their credit, like the movie was done very well.
Mm-hmm. Like on a production value point.
Yeah, well, just everything about it. Like it was shot and written well, and everything was handled.
What was it that your friend took away from it so much that they like?
Oh no, it's just the movie itself. Like I don't really need to see like a hyper realistic sex scene between teenagers. And some of them are like at parties. So like I believe one of the times like the girl's like drunk out, passed out, drunk, and the dude's doing it to her, and just there's a lot of stuff in that movie. It's like, why the fuck are we watching this?
Like too raw, too heavy, like.
And so I never went back to it, and never really care to go back to that.
No, don't.
I'm looking into the director now. It seems like he hasn't really done much since.
Basically, all the movies he does is like to send a message.
That's what it seems like. That and Chris Isaac movies. The best of Chris Isaac.
Why not?
Chris Isaac, Solitary Man.
So that's I never need to see that movie again.
Yeah.
Man, well, literally like 5 seconds ago, I thought of one that I hate even more than the one that I wrote down. So I don't know if I should go with my original pick or my new pick.
Go with both of them. I did too.
Okay, I get it. All right, to even things out. Yeah, okay, we'll do that.
Yeah.
All right, so my original pick was a movie called We Are Your Friends. Have either of y'all heard of it or seen it or anything?
We Are Your Friends.
So it's a Zac Efron movie. It came out in 2015. It was a drama about a bunch of young adults, Zac Efron, 2015 age kind of, and they are all like they're all in LA and they're just trying to make it in their each respective things. I forget so much about what it's a group of like 4 friends, and I forget what all the other ones are trying to get into. But Zac Efron, the main character, he's an aspiring DJ. He DJs at parties, and that's the one there. Yeah, if you look hard at your phone, you'll see Mike pulling up a screenshot of Zac Efron at the turntable. And on paper, it doesn't sound so bad. It's a coming of age, young adults, and they're dealing with I guess the struggle of trying to make it creatively while obviously doing something more corporate would get you more money, and just that balance of like trying to make a living while trying to be creative. On paper it all sounds fine, but Zac Efron's character is just a fucking piece of shit by the end of the movie. That they like sometimes it's why I'm a videographer and not like a writer or anything, because I have such a hard time with words, guys.
That's me.
Do you guys spoilers, bro, for listeners and for y'all? I'm just gonna go into this movie real quick. Just to get to the part that why it's unwatchable for me is, so he's a struggling DJ, and through circumstances, he ends up meeting like his hero DJ, like world famous DJ, and takes him under his wing and like gives him a shot and everything. But Zac Efron has the hots for his mentor's girlfriend, and she has the hots for him. And like, I think that's such a shitty thing to do. That this guy, like, you're a horrible DJ, but this guy who's like world famous is still taking under his wing, but you're still gonna like mac on his girl. Like, yo, that is shitty, man. Like, and they try to play up the DJ as like, oh, he's a jerk boyfriend. So it's Zac Efron. So it's right for him to go and cheat with this girl and woo her and make his moves and stuff and flirt with her and stuff. It's like, and same for her, like you're saying, like, oh yeah, it's right that she's like cheating on him and getting with Zac Efron, like, because he's a jerk, right? And it's like, he's kind of a jerk, but he's not like, it's no excuse. Like, like, I get that it's a movie, but you can't, I just don't think it's an excuse, right? And so I think that's shitty. And then one of the main friends of his dies again during the movie, and the movie concludes with him being like, the message, I guess, that the mentor guy is like, hey, like, you're such a bad DJ because like all you do is like recycle like loops from your Apple Loops folder and stuff. Like if you want to be a DJ, you gotta create real organic music. Which I mean, dude, I'm sure this actually speaks to you, Mike. Like like there's actual value in going out and recording sounds and stuff. There's actually like a kind of really good message of like, the real music's out in the world, recording in the streets and stuff. And like,
dude, I have insight about a lot of famous DJs that do fucking shit.
And so Zac Efron, he actually finally, by the end of the movie, after being like a fucking jerk, he like takes him up onto it, and like he's using sound clips of the girl that he's that is cheating behind the DJ's back, and it's like, well, that's a shitty thing. Like you're using this cheating girlfriend's vocals like for your song, and that you're using your dead best friend's sounds too. Like it's like I get that it's like, oh yeah, like he's immortalizing his friend, but like they had a total falling out, and so it's like, oh, like I guess you feel like you've redeemed yourself because after the fight and he died, like you used his stuff in your track, and it's just like at the end of the movie, dude, the mentor DJ, like, and obviously falling out when he finds out about him and the girl, but he still at the very end, he's like, you know what, like you fucking like stabbed me in the back, but I believe in you, and I mentored you, and I want to see you go all the way, and so he hooks him up with this Warped Tour sized show, and I'm just like, so that's his happily ever after. I'm like, man, but he was such a shitty guy, and
he doesn't deserve it happily ever after.
Yeah, and so it's like, man, like that's like, it's hard for me to separate. Like sometimes I mean I get that as a filmmaker I should know how to separate reality and fiction, but sometimes characters are so shitty that it's still like I'm physically cringe from.
Yeah. Right.
But I mean, the writing has to be based on something in real life,
Right.
Yeah.
And you can't always have the happy ending. Look at 500 Days of Summer. You can't have the happy ending.
I haven't seen that movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I recommend it. Before I accidentally overhype it, I'd say make time for it.
Pretty good.
Yeah. JGL's in it. Does really good. Zoe Deschanel.
Deschanel.
Yeah. I think they have really good chemistry in that movie.
I won't spend too much time on this next one, but just to throw it out there, another movie that similarly, I feel like I physically blocked it from my memory. Like, but it was another example of like the antagonist or one of the characters was just so negative, so aggressively, just a bad person that it was unentertaining. I couldn't find any entertainment in watching this, and that movie was Norbit.
Oh Jesus,
Norbit,
the fucking
I forgot about Norbit.
I erased that from my memory bank.
Jesus,
where he plays himself, but also he plays his own girlfriend. Who, I mean, I get that they play it up for laughs. A lot of physical comedy of like, oh, like she's unattractive, she's big, and she's whatever. But even if you took that same character of the antagonist, the girlfriend that he's with, and you put her in the most beautiful. And if the most beautiful actress in the world played that same character, I would still feel like physically ill watching just how badly she treats this guy and just walks all over him. And it's just it's so hard to watch. It's so hard to watch. And so that's another one that, it doesn't happen often, but sometimes a character can be so negative and so poisonous and that it's just, I physically cannot, like, it hurts to watch the movie. And Norbit was another one of those.
It hurt. It did hurt to watch that movie.
Yeah.
On many levels.
Yeah. I watched like maybe 10 minutes of it, and I said no. Couldn't.
I watched 3 minutes of it, whatever that trailer length was.
Oh yeah.
That's about it.
No.
My mother bought the DVD, so I watched it.
Oh my gosh. It's
all
just
the way through.
Sometimes just something will remind me of it. I'm just like, oh no, now I got to take the rest of the day off now to just like.
Christian, where are you going? I just watched Norbit.
We understand.
I need a minute.
Go.
But yeah, those were mine, guys.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right, honorable mentions.
All right.
Whoever wants to go first.
I'll just go first. Honorable mention for me for a recent movie, Baby Driver. Can't say enough about that movie. That's a movie I can watch repeatedly and not get old of it.
I need to pick that up. I've seen it. I liked it. I need a copy of that.
Yeah, it's one like every time I watch it, I pick up something new, like either with the sound or music, something. I always pick up something new with it, and it's really
good. I don't know if we talked about it on this podcast, but that movie just does some stuff with the audio mix that just still continues to blow my mind.
Yeah,
how somebody could think of that.
Yeah.
Some of the things they did.
I think we did something about it. We talked about
Probably
it. I know we talked about it.
We talked about it somewhere. But
Yeah.
We're already 5 podcasts in. We don't even know where we talked about it.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. But Baby Driver's definitely one of the ones. Even back as a kid watching Toy Story over and over again. That was one movie. I can still watch that movie. The animation's a little dated now, so thankfully we have like 3 to make up for that, even though I cry my eyes out every single time.
Hey guys.
God, Christian.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
So, I grew up watching the Toy Stories, but I kind of watched them under protest, kind of like, I'm a kid, I'm supposed to be watching this, my brother likes it. Man, I'm just not that big of a Toy Story fan, and I'll go into why in a bit, but I'm just still going into like, kind of like, I'm throwing little sprinkles around the conversation.
Yeah.
Like, when Kingdom Hearts 3 put out the trailer for Toy Story, it's like,
it's real!
Wow, it looks beautiful, but I'm not having the same reaction. I love watching reactions, and so I watched like a whole bunch of reactions of people reacting to the trailer when that dropped, when they revealed, the Toy Story world. And so many people were crying, and so many people talk about Toy Story 3 and how they were going to cry at that certain scene at the end and everything. And I watched them kind of out of like, what do you call it? Completionist, like for closure, I guess. I watched them because they're there. But the reason though, guys, I don't know if y'all are going to be shit for this or not, but the reason why I never really got into them is because like the first one was hard to watch because Woody, like I mentioned with the first movie, he's such a jerk. The Buzz,
yeah,
you get it, he's really jealous, but it was just he crossed lines. Like
he did. That's
like even before like
sensing a theme here.
Before hitting him off the
don't like douchebags. Got it.
Yeah. But before hitting him off the pizza truck, like anytime anybody would, I forgot who was like the little shark. He's like, "Hey, look, I'm Woody," and he
give me that.
And then like the Slinky, his tail's wagging in front of it. I get it, like it's annoying that he's wagging his tail in front of his face, but he like knocks him off, and he's just he's constantly giving him shit. And I get that it's supposed to be a character growth moment at the end. By the time they join together, they're best friends now, but that's not to the end. For so much of the movie, though, he's just such. And even before Buzz gets introduced, like he really carries himself with so much like. That's the word I'm looking for. Like
he's the head honcho.
He's pride.
Yeah, it's definitely pride. He's like,
prideful.
I'm the number one toy. None of you other toys are, Andy's favorite. I'm Andy's favorite.
So like the movie is literally teaching kids how to share, and that's Woody's arc.
I guess that's good. I'm definitely gonna appreciate it. Again, like I'll be like, you know what? Yeah, that's a good message. But yeah, back when I was a kid, like I was like, even as a kid, I don't know how old I was when that came out, but I was like, oh, this guy he's a bit much.
Yeah, I think I liked Woody the most when I was a kid too, only because to see him go from being Andy's favorite toy and then realizing, okay, there is someone better than me. It's okay, and then actually sharing that time and like finding out Buzz is now your best friend, dude. He's like the greatest. He's your number 2, even though technically you're the number 2. It works both ways.
Yeah.
But it was such a great story altogether. I think it worked out very well. Yeah, Woody was a jerk in the very beginning, but
and unlike the other 2 movies I mentioned, it's not that I would never watch it. Like the movies are fine. I'm just saying that like the reason why I probably same level of fandom or appreciation as other people is because like when I watched it, I was young and really sensitive. I'm fucking 30, but I'm still really sensitive about that kind of thing. So that's why I like
hates Cowboys.
And another one that I can watch. There's like 2 of them. There's I for westerns I gotta go with Untouchables. Or no, not Untouchables, because that's the one with freaking Sean Connery and Kevin Costner.
I didn't realize Untouchables was a Western movie.
No, it's not. Why? All right. Anyways, October Sky is another movie I can definitely watch over again. With
that's
a
great movie.
One?
Yeah, like Jake Gyllenhaal is in it.
Right. Yeah, I've only seen that once.
Yeah, I've watched that movie like countless times.
For the longest time, I was convinced that was Tobey Maguire.
A lot of people did. I don't know why. I gotta look up this other movie, but October Sky was one of those ones I watched in high school, I believe. I watched that one in high school, and I always like movies set back like 60
in a period piece,
and that one just like I think it hit me at the right time, and just seeing these nerds that weren't really accepted in school, and then they're the biggest thing in school now because of how much they're progressing with everything, and also people are like, oh, they're terrorists because they're spies because they're making these rockets and all that.
I forgot whether it was Mike or Matt. Did one of y'all mention that y'all hadn't seen it?
I haven't seen it. I had never even heard of it.
Oh, Jake, do you want to give like the quick rundown? Not the plot synopsis, because I do think Mike should check it out, but like just like the kind of the one sentence summary of what it.
Yeah, it's basically these kids in West Virginia. It's back in the coal mining days. His father's a coal miner, and they're going through they're doing rocket science that they were interested in. So they basically go through, make a rocket. It's like one of the not the first ones ever made, but it's really in depth of how far they go into with it, and they go through the whole science fair. I forget what the national thing was called.
The National Science Fair.
Yeah, sure. I don't know if that's the one it was though. But it goes through that whole thing. It's around the time with Sputnik, in that that time frame.
It's kind of what kicks things off is like Sputnik gets launched, and whereas most of the country is afraid, our main character, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, he's like inspired, like wow, like there's a whole world out there and a new frontier, and he gets inspired to be like, hey, like I want to build a toy little rocket, and he takes it more seriously. He ends up meeting more like-minded individuals like himself who also, find kind of a purpose in like this new hobby of theirs. And obviously, new things can be met with very aggressive resistance.
Yeah,
and especially when it's a small town who's used to doing things a certain way and not change. And it's a coming-of-age story that I think it's really good.
Really cool.
His dad was so against it too.
Who's played by, is it Chris Cooper? I think his name.
Yeah, Chris Cooper.
And he's being championed the whole time though by his math teacher, played by Laura Dern, who who's recently seen Last Jedi, plays Admiral Holdo.
Yep.
Speaking of movies, I never need to see them. It's a joke.
Is it though? I watched it recently.
We're not touching it.
I just bought it. I just bought it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, I bought it when it first came out, and then I rewatched it, and I was like, I think I'm good for a little bit. I'll watch it again, but I'm good for a little bit.
That can be our one shot after this. We can talk about.
Oh, please.
I probably won't be on that one, so I'll just say this one little thing. It's very rare that I get to like not brag.
One little thing.
Okay, but like just speaking of Last Jedi, like this. Sometimes I'm like, I'm just gonna share a little story. I also would have felt the same way, but I have a new appreciation for Last Jedi after seeing the 2-hour documentary that they put out about the making of. You definitely learn a lot.
Watch that.
Yeah.
You learn a lot more about why they did things, and that they knew that it was going to be met with certain backlash, and but they believed it. And when you see the documentary and you see them going over things and second guessing things, you realize that a lot of the decisions weren't taken lightly, and you hear a lot back from Mark Hamill and what he thought of the choices, and I definitely have a new appreciation for it. And before I watched the documentary, I probably would have been like, yeah, I don't need to watch it again. But now I have a new appreciation for it. And that documentary, this is where I'm like, man, I kind of get to brag a little bit. I got to watch the world premiere for it at South by Southwest when it played here in Austin.
Oh yeah,
Mark Hamill and Ryan Johnson, and I didn't get a chance to have some questions, but it was just cool being in the same room as them.
Nice.
But that's my one goal in life, is to meet Mark Hamill and just thank you. Thank you for being the best villain all time, even though that probably made my childhood a little bit more scarier. But thank you. Yeah. I appreciate you so much.
Yeah, that was my plan going into buying Last Jedi. I do want to watch the doc first and then rewatch.
Yeah, I need to watch
because I heard such good things about the doc.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah. And then, going back to October Sky for a second.
Yeah.
Same director as Captain America, The Rocketeer, and Jurassic Park 3.
Oh, nice. I did not know that.
I mean, except for Jurassic Park 3, man, that's on my list of shitty movies.
I don't hate Jurassic Park 3.
See, I tried like maybe 5 or 6 times to watch Jurassic Park 3, and I just cannot get through it.
I think you're way better than Jurassic World, which is...
Really?
But I love Jurassic World.
I like Jurassic World. See, I like Jurassic World.
And The Lost World.
I love The Lost World.
Hidalgo. And Hidalgo.
And
Hidalgo.
Hidalgo. That's a movie I've never heard of.
I never watched that one. But that's the one with what's his name?
Viggo Mortensen.
Mortensen, yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, can't remember pronounce that.
So,
right.
one last one. One last one.
Right.
One more.
Yeah.
Promise. I remember the name of it. Tombstone.
Yo,
Tombstone.
Oh my god. I'm your Huckleberry.
Man, check out Jared Petty's new podcast, because I think they talk about in the first episode.
Yeah.
I think they do.
The Red Dead podcast.
Yeah. That's something I need to check out.
Mm-hmm.
But I always loved Westerns, and I think that's one of my favorite Westerns. Of course.
Nice.
I'm really hit or
Shout
miss,
out
and
to
that's
Young
definitely
Guns.
a hit.
Matt,
I'm
have
hit
you
or
seen Young
miss
Guns?
on Westerns, and that one, really stands out. It's really strong.
Yeah.
It is.
Matt, have you watched Young Guns?
Wait, who?
Matt.
No. I know what it is, but I have not.
You should. I think you should. I would love to see what your reaction is to that movie. Both 1 and 2, actually, but more so 1.
I didn't realize there was a sequel.
Yeah.
Did anyone else have honorable mentions?
Yeah, Mike. You got any honorable mentions?
Earlier I did mention quickly Sing Street and School of Rock. Again, musical movies. Like,
Yep.
There.
Yep.
Bad Boys 2.
Yes.
For some reason.
Yo!
Get the fuck out of
See,
here.
hold on.
No way.
Hold on.
Yes.
I love Bad Boys. I love Bad Boys 2. You're telling me 2 is better than 1?
Hell yeah.
No.
Hell yeah.
No.
Yes.
No.
Miami Drug Lord? Fuck yeah.
I
Michael
love
Shannon's
2.
KKK die? Yeah.
I love 2, but there's no way it's better than 1. There's no way.
You know
The scene alone where the boyfriend is coming to pick up the daughter and they grilled the shit out of him? Fuck yeah.
Shoot, what you want? You ever been with a man before? Want to?
Wanna be? See, it's so good.
The difference between 1 and 2 reminds me a lot about the difference between Alien and Aliens. Like, I think Bad Boys 1 is a really good cop drama, with obviously some comedic elements, but number 2 is more like a popcorn action film.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Oh yeah. Hey Matt.
Bad Boys 2 was the start of Michael Bay being Michael Bay.
Yeah.
Like, he had done shit before, but like Bad Boys 2
I don't see the
was
problem with
like,
that.
After 50 million Transformer movies and 2 crappy Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies.
Hey,
yeah.
what?
Right.
Right. 2.
Okay,
was actually pretty
2
good.
was good. 2 was good. I will. Sorry.
I'll say props to TMNT 2 and props for 13 Hours. That was actually really good.
I haven't watched
I
that
haven't
one
watched
yet.
that one either.
It's pretty good. Another one since we mentioned Baby Driver. Shaun of the Dead is my favorite Edgar Wright movie. I can watch that.
It used to be mine. Hot Fuzz is my favorite Edgar Wright.
See, you can't
They
go
both
wrong
are.
with
They're both
those.
up there.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
Hot Fuzz took me a while to appreciate because I was expecting a lot more like Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
I think a lot of I think Shaun of the Dead had a more universal comedy, whereas Hot Fuzz really embraced like
Very specific.
UK kind of humor, which I didn't learn to appreciate so much later after I had consumed a bit more UK entertainment. But now I think it's great. Yeah.
There's like,
no, good.
something about Edgar Wright that I just love about it. I think it's every one of his movies. There's the quick, like the zoomed in quick cuts that I believe he picked up from Sam Raimi, because it always reminds me of like Evil Dead and Army of Darkness. Just those quick, fast cuts and everything. I love those.
I need to watch those Evil Dead movies too, guys.
I do too, actually.
I'm writing this down right now.
I saw the reboot.
The reboot.
Anyways, the reboot is good. I was fucking terrified. I remember being so terrified after years. I went home that night and
So it's funny because
I found. What's up?
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was so terrified that night I couldn't fall asleep, so I found the Wizard of Oz prequel with James Franco. online just to like clear the slate a little bit, so I can go to sleep.
You never want to see again.
I've never seen that movie. Never seen that movie.
I watched 5 minutes of it. That was it.
But
yeah, what were you gonna say?
But Evil Dead. So I went into that. I saw it like 3 times in theaters, but when I saw it the first time, if you've seen the original Evil Dead movies and Army of Darkness, you know what's supposed to be funny in that movie. Yeah. Because there's callbacks and actions and like they just gratuitous amount of gore and stuff. That's just totally callbacks to the original Evil Dead movies. And so I was like the only one laughing in my theater when I saw it at these moments. Like just otherwise totally messed up scenes and stuff like mutilation of bodies and stuff like that. And I'm just laughing my ass off because I know what they're doing, what they're calling back to.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I looked like a psycho that day.
That's another series I definitely want to give the time to watch.
Bruce Campbell.
Yeah. The other Edgar Wright one is that's again music. Edgar Wright.
You cut out during the title.
What the fuck? Anyways, Edgar Wright, Scott Pilgrim.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. I was thinking about that one. That one was pretty high on my list when I was looking at it.
That's another movie that we watch annually.
And actually, I don't know if y'all were gonna mention any of the submitted ones that people maybe tweeted out, but somebody did respond to the question saying that.
We talk about those after.
Okay.
And then really quickly, Incredibles, and then all the Star Wars movies except for the prequels.
Right. Funny story. I think it was about 2 years ago. I finally watched The Incredibles. It took me so long. It took me so long to watch The Incredibles because I heard great things, and I think at the time it would have been overhyped for me to watch it. And I didn't want to watch it at a time where it would have been like overhyped.
Yeah, because you need some time.
Yeah, give it some time, and then I gave it a lot of time, but finally watched it, and it was really good. I'm excited for the second one.
Me too.
Yeah, looks like it'll be fun. I'm worried. I like The Incredibles, but I'm not. Yeah. I don't know.
Matt, what you got?
So I don't really have any honorable mentions. There is one movie I've only watched through once. I've watched a couple times, and I definitely want to get back to watching it again, like full through. And that movie is Blood In, Blood Out.
Sounds familiar.
It's like a 3.5 hour movie, just about LA, 3 brothers and stuff, just their life and stuff like that. It's super serious movie, but really good. Has the dude who started as Johnny Cage.
The guy that played Johnny Cage. I love that.
You're not talking about 4 Brothers, one with Mark Wahlberg.
No, because that one has Tyrese and.
I like 4 Brothers.
I never did finish that.
Really good.
I think I rented it and the DVD scratched halfway, and I didn't care to.
You know, there was one movie that every time I rented it from Redbox on Blu-ray, I could not finish it because it always stopped at some certain point. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
I still haven't seen that.
Oh, it's good.
I always wanted to watch that one.
I like it.
That down right now.
I think my job is showing it like next week. I might go.
Really? Yeah, go watch it.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, definitely watch it. Robert Downey Jr. is crazy in it, and then Val Kilmer is in it. So that's a good one.
All right, Christian, any honorable?
Yeah, so I'm going to give a few honorable mentions, and I'm going to go super fast. We don't know that because I'll spend more time on. I'll pick one of these to talk about, but like just kind of, this is just kind of like this kind of like the progression of different movies that I had as my spot for, you know, like in high school I used to watch El Mariachi a lot. At the end of high school I watched Donnie Darko a lot. Most recent years I was really into watching Interstellar a lot. I know some people like are down on that, but I really like that.
That's really good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Still haven't seen it.
Howl's Moving Castle is a blast anytime it's on TV or somebody's playing that. I have Scott Pilgrim here. Catch Me If You Can. Yo, that was
yes.
Yo, and the ones that I wanted to spend a bit more time on, just because I think there's a little twist to it. I mentioned this earlier before you got here, Matt. Was that scenario as well where I'll rewatch something. For example, you mentioned Christmas. For Halloween, every Halloween I'll watch Guillermo del Toro's The Devil's Backbone. Which is not a Halloween.
I've seen half of it.
It's not a Halloween movie or anything, but it's kind of it's not. I wouldn't even usually call it a horror story, but it's a ghost story.
No.
It's a dramatic ghost story.
It's so. Did you see Crimson Peak?
Yeah.
So I hate the marketers for that movie because they marketed that movie as a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I love Guillermo del Toro and I love Pan's Labyrinth and all that stuff. But I went into this movie thinking it was going to be a horror movie, so I was totally let down. I'm like, God damn.
It's a gothic romance.
I'm waiting some years to go back into it to rewatch it, like with knowing what it's actually supposed to be. But God, that sucked.
I feel like he knew people were going to get that misconception because every time he was interviewed, he always made sure to gothic romance to really drive home as much as he could because I'm sure he knew how it was being marketed. But yeah, Devil's Backbone. I mean, it's just it's an older movie. It's a period piece. It's all in Spanish, and but it's like a really something about it just feels like comfort food around Halloween time. Like I like to play that. And then the other one I was going to call out was sometimes you just want to have something pretty in the background, and I love putting on Final Fantasy Advent Children. Sometimes I'm doing the laundry or something. I just want something really pretty on the TV. And I like having that on in the background.
Question.
For some reason. Yeah.
Advent Children or Advent Children Complete?
Advent Children Complete.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love Complete. I hate the fact that they took out the music from Battle from the Forgotten City.
I probably didn't.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the only thing I don't like about Complete. They changed that song. I don't know why, but I like
the new Final Battle song.
Yes,
though.
the Final Battle is
was
way better. Way better.
But yeah, I still think the
Mike's like, I've never played a Final Fantasy game in my life.
You played 15?
These people are talking about.
You played 15, didn't you?
I platinum 15.
Yeah.
Yeah? I'm still missing
15's not a Final Fantasy game.
Or two
I didn't even really like it. And I still platinumed it.
God, what was it, chapter 14?
It's like Undertale. I platinumed it out of spite.
Yeah.
And then I guess one more honorable mention, which I'm going to try to insist we don't go. It's so easy for us to just go down another hour talking about this, but like Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
That's one of the movies that is the movie that got me filmmaking. But
that's the first song I learned how to play on piano.
Really? Yeah, me too. Well, actually, that's like my second one. The first one I learned was Ocarina of Time's Song of Storms, and the second one was Jurassic Park.
Nice.
Second one for me was Final Fantasy VII's Overworld.
Nice. I'm slowly making my way through Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
The PS4 port.
Another Guillermo del Toro movie. I own it on Blu-ray. I still haven't watched it. Chronos.
Yo, Chronos. That's another one where it's older, so you gotta put in your mind the effects. Good for the time, the storytelling. Everything you got to take in.
I'm one of those people that like older effects doesn't irk me. That's one of the things. Like talking to younger people these days, for some reason, like they won't watch the Evil Dead movies or something just because they're older and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't get that at all.
Yeah, no. Chronos, I watched a lot later too, and man, it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I one of these days I'll finally watch it, and we'll have to do a separate episode based on what we watch for holidays and stuff like that. Because usually October I watch a different horror movie every day.
The one thing I was going to say about Jurassic Park about why that wasn't my pick, despite how strongly I feel about it, it is because the theme for our topic was movies we can always rewatch. And although I can always rewatch Jurassic Park, if I have to pick to sit down and watch a movie, I think I'd go with Back to the Future because it is a bit more lighthearted.
Right.
The beginning of Jurassic Park definitely has a lot of majesty and the wonderment of
it's like a fucking horror
world. But yeah, rightly so. It is also it's very dramatic and yes, very horrific scenes. So if I wanted to sit down, I think Back to the Future is much more of a popcorn good time.
Yeah, that speaks to this topic. We're not picking our favorites because my favorite movie, The Witch, which I can't rewatch over and over again. Ex Machina, fucking Whiplash.
I hated the last act of Ex Machina.
I hated the last 5 minutes of Ex Machina.
Same.
All right.
It's just the last scene that
The last scene.
Without going into spoilers, just the person who gets to leave.
So I
disagree
wish
with that.
I wish it was elevator, cut to black.
See, for me, it's more of like.
Should I take off my headphones?
Have you not seen it?
No.
Okay.
Take them off for a second.
Yeah, just a second.
I'll wave at you.
Right.
The whole thing with him not building in like some sort of like emergency
that's bullshit.
function. Okay, he has an ego, but he's fucking smart as hell. You're telling me he doesn't have a fucking safety system in there to like just kill the robot?
I didn't honestly, until you said it right now, I didn't even think about that. Until you mentioned that right now, I didn't even consider that. That wasn't like a problem I had.
Like
with
that's rule number one when you create AI or a robot.
Put an off button on.
Yeah.
A
kill switch. Like there has to be one. There always has to be one.
For me, it's go ahead.
No, go for it.
I was gonna say, like, for me, the main problem I have with the end is the fact that she couldn't let him go too. She's obviously stronger than him, so he's not really posing a threat, and they're obviously miles and miles away. So I was like, this guy is like a scrawny nerd. Like I hope you're not leaving him closer because you think he's going to be a danger to you.
Yeah.
Even if he got out, no one would ever believe him about saying this. This girl, she's a robot. No one would believe it. So like it just seemed unnecessarily cruel to leave him like that. Because unless I'm wrong, I'm assuming she left him locked up and he's just going to die because he can't get out, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And that's why I felt like the ending betrayed the rest of the movie because up until that point, like it's a very cerebral, thought-provoking movie, and then they just go for a fucking Hollywood ending.
I think the potential for artificial intelligence is we should embrace how beautiful it can be, how the potential for the positivity, but instead it was now that she's full on AI, full sentience, whatever you want to call it, she's just cold now or whatever, or she's a cold-blooded killer. I had the same problem with Westworld. Did you see the ending of that? The first
I haven't watched any of Westworld.
I haven't watched any of Westworld. I'm not going to.
Do y'all mind if I kind of say something, or do y'all feel like I might watch it? Okay. You mind?
Now we're there too. No, I don't mind at all.
All right. So at the end, one of the one that gains sentience, she does something that gives all. Wait, can you hear, Jake? Are you listening now?
No, I think his headphones are out.
Okay. I was gonna say, she does something that gives all the robots sentience, and instead of them being like, "Oh wow, what are feelings? What is life?" They're all just we're all killing robots now. We're all gonna kill everybody. So it's what is that?
That's my signal.
Oh, okay. So that was another thing. I was like, I mean, come on, how boring is that? So they're gonna spend the whole second season just being killer robots. That's boring. So that's the same thing I have with Ex Machina. Is wow, she's reached full on human consciousness, and what does she do with it? The first thing she does is kill this guy. That's disappointing.
And with that being said, that doesn't take away my love for that movie because I fucking adore every minute before that.
Yeah.
Similar to I'll tell them to.
Yeah.
Similar to the Florida Project. I don't know if you guys seen that.
I've always meant to. Okay.
What was it?
Again, the Florida Project.
I think I've heard of it.
Willem Duffel movie came out last year.
I still haven't seen it though.
It's very good. One definitely up there for me also, but again, the last didn't need it, but it didn't.
You cut out there a little bit, but I'm guessing you said that the ending kind of disappointing.
Yeah, it didn't bother me. It was whatever, but yeah, going back to those are movies I can't watch over and over again. So there's definitely a clear difference.
Dang, did I accidentally have us end on a bad note? Can we say something positive?
We're gonna end with questions.
Well,
cool.
I forgot one movie I totally forgot about that I love watching, and I don't know how you guys feel about it. Desperado.
I mean,
Desperado.
that's a hot movie, man. And I mentioned earlier that Mariachi. The reason why I like probably Mariachi more than Desperado is because it is a bit more aggressive R. You know, there's a lot more violence, a lot more sex, a lot more nudity, and I'm kind of sheltered a little bit, and so I mean, obviously over the years as I've gone older, like I can appreciate that there's there is artistry in those kind of things, but at the same time, it's like if I would pick two, like I would pick the one that is a bit more quote unquote family friendly.
Yeah.
I think of the three, like Once Upon a Time in Mexico, the most.
Yo, man, that movie was. I know a lot of people have problems with it, and it's not as good as Desperado, but I have this great memory from when that movie came out on DVD. I watched it 3 times in a row because they had like 3 different commentaries on it. So I watched it the whole way through. Watched it again with like producer commentary, then again with actor commentary, and I just like because I fucking love behind the scenes stuff and talk like that. So I remember just like marathoning that several times. I did that same with Scott Pilgrim. It has like 5 commentaries on that one, and those are all great.
I've been meaning to do the commentary for. I heard it's fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Which one? Why didn't you
Ragnarok?
Yeah. Oh, yo, okay.
Taika Waititi's a fucking madman.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
What We Do in the Shadows is one of mine also.
That's fantastic. I wish more people would watch that.
I wish more people would watch his second one, Hunt for the Wilder People. It's fucking fantastic.
I wanted to watch that one so
much. It's so good.
After it passed, like sometimes like I have such tunnel vision when it comes to movies, so if I miss something, sometimes it's really hard
it's
for me.
Like it's gone. Yeah.
I still need to see A Quiet Place.
I still need to see that too.
Yeah,
that's very good.
See,
it's a good one. It's a good one.
I just need
one last honorable mention from me, which could have very well been my most rewatched movie, but I actually listened to that movie more than I watch it now. Listen to the commentary track, Sideways. Thomas Hayden Church and Paul Giamatti. The commentary track on that is just, it's like you're in the room with them just having a conversation. So I love the movie. I've read all the but yeah, I listened to the commentary track more than I watched the movie at this point. So
interesting.
Yeah. So all right, let's get into some of these questions here. Colby Cortas.
Get them reading glasses on.
Sorry, Colby.
Writes in.
Love you.
He watches every few months Big Lebowski.
Yes.
Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz,
Props.
The Other Guys.
Man, shout out to The Other Guys.
Shout out to The Other Guys.
Yeah.
I'm of the pool that didn't really care for The Other Guys.
For me, it was silly and
it's dumb, but
it is
and
absolutely dumb. Shout out to Michael Keaton. Shout out to Michael
Iron
Keaton.
Man mask just turned on. Ghosts.
What is that?
My Iron Man mask just turned on.
It turned on.
Ghosts.
Fun fact: when they go to New Jersey in that movie, that's like the street.
That's
awesome. Nice.
Yeah, I was going to college one day. I passed by on the bus. I was like, "Is that fucking Wolf Ferrell?"
What? Yeah. No way, dude.
Yeah.
Caddyshack. Love Caddyshack.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm gonna write that
Mike,
one
you've
down.
never seen it?
I know. I gotta watch that one. I know it.
Right, Mike. You need to write that one down too.
Caddyshack.
And for Never Again, scary movies in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not generally a fan of scary movies.
Here's the problem with like scary movies for me. There's not a lot of them that don't have to have blood and gore. It's like usually they're just like blood and gore in general, and it's just like that's not really scary to me.
Yeah, those are more like torture porn and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But so recently,
horror movies are my favorite genre, and same with video games.
That's why I'm that's why I'm interested in A Quiet Place, because I hear it's supposed to be scary. And
I would highly recommend The Witch and It Comes at Night.
Oh, The Witch is good. I can't recommend It Comes at Night. I watched it. It was alright.
It's like very split. Like people either love it or like.
It's a polarizing movie.
Yeah, it is.
I can see what they're going for. But his reasoning for scary movies, he says he's a wimp. He also doesn't want to see any Transformer movies ever again. And,
but the first one, though, come on.
Yeah.
He says unneeded Hangover sequels. Does he mean
unneeded? So I guess he means anything after the first one.
Right. But that sentence means like, does he think the second one was good? Because he says the unneeded Hangover sequels.
I think he pluralized it, meaning both.
Yeah. I think he means all of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like both of them.
So yeah. Hangover.
I didn't like the second one. I don't remember the third one at all.
I didn't see the third one.
This is where it gets a little dicey. He said he never wants to see Hot Tub Time Machine again.
It's fine.
I mean, I could do without that.
I enjoyed it. And
I saw the
Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber.
Okay.
Kobe, fuck off.
Yeah, that is. I saw that. I'm like, did he mean Dumb and Dumberer?
I thought that too. But
that's what I thought. Like, I thought he meant that one, and then like no, he put Dumb and Dumber, and I'm like,
is Dumb and Dumber the actual sequel, or is that the prequel?
Dumb and Dumber was the prequel. Dumb and Dumber
2?
I didn't actually see the sequel. I don't remember
I didn't see
what
it
it's called.
No, I can't remember.
I think it was just called 2, but maybe with 2 O's instead of
T-O-O.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. And
No,
Brenton Johnson writes in Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah, shout out.
2-3 times a year, and V for Vendetta on the 5th of November.
I never saw either.
V for Vendetta's good time. It's very relevant right now as far as like
I could imagine
the fears of government involvement and surveillance, citizens' rights, things like that. It's very relevant still. So
yeah, something that's been on my list forever. But just
Scott Pilgrim actually reminded me that similarly, one of my favorite games to just replay like whenever I have time is the Scott Pilgrim video game. It's like a side-scrolling beat 'em up, and it's the music is kick-ass. Anamanaguchi, and
I forgot they soundtracked it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
it's very good.
I remember I have a really weird memory of that got released when there was a crazy snowstorm in New York, and I lived up an incredibly steep hill. This is before I still don't drive, but this is like when I was really young. I walked down my hill to the local game shop. There was like a mom and pop shop down the street in the snowstorm, and I bought the Microsoft points when they still did points. And I got trapped at the bottom of the hill. I couldn't walk back up, so I kept like sliding down the hill and stuff. I eventually made it up, but
it was a journey in and of itself.
And then that whole night and the next day I had a snow day. I just played Scott Pilgrim.
Dude, such a good game. Yeah, I mean, and man, I was so glad when Xbox got like the DLC characters for that like way in advance, and then I'm so glad when the PS4 finally got it, or when
PS3.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
Anyone else put in
awesome
comment?
No,
that's
it. That's all we got for those. So that's all for the main course, our main topic this week. Christian, so tell us a little about yourself. Plug whatever you want to do. And seriously, thank you for coming on today.
Oh, it's been a blast. I don't usually get to podcast much more comfortable. I mean, I guess I've made a home behind the camera, so people don't really bring me on a lot of podcasts. I used to do one with a few friends. Like I was like their guest, but I'm kind of ranting. I'm gonna just say thank you for having me here, guys. It's been fun. I'd love to come back again sometime. As far as things to pimp out, honestly, my Twitter. I'm a videographer, so like I put a lot of videos on YouTube, but I don't really engage with my YouTube channel. It's really just a place to put my videos, kind of portfolio page. But I'm much more involved on Twitter. I'll upload straight to Twitter when I can. If it's something that I can produce that's under 220 seconds, like I'll put on there. And I'm really involved. I'm really
Kingdom Hearts recap video.
Oh, dude, that was fun. Thanks. I'm glad you watched that. Actually, I need to repost that since the Kingdom Hearts 3 event just happened, the premiere. Everyone's giving their thoughts on that. Yeah. So I'll probably check out my Twitter and I'll probably repost my Twitter-sized recap of all the Kingdom Hearts games in order of release. Yeah. Nice. If anyone wants to check out more stuff from me, I'm on all social media, Instagram, Snapchat, as PixelBrave. My PSN ID is PixelBrave. I'm not really into multiplayer games, but if you feel like adding me anyways, I'm on there. Anywhere you can think of, I am PixelBrave. And it's been fun these past years shooting videos. That's how I met Mike and Jake. It was at Kind of Funny Life 3.
I met you at 2.
Wait, was it 2?
Yeah.
2. Yeah, it was 2. Yeah. And yeah, I didn't know that you were like, I thought you were just like a regular guy that was like asking about my camera or something. I didn't realize you were there with like, the crowd too.
Yeah, I believe it was you that took a picture of Mike and I, like totally mad dogging
mean mugging
people that took our seat at the food truck hangout.
Well, thank God they did.
Because that's the first picture, and that's actually right after we met.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm glad they took your table, because then I got to meet you guys like a little bit right after.
Yeah, that's true. If we weren't standing there, you probably wouldn't have seen anyone yet. So.
Yeah.
And seriously, like, you're probably my favorite filmographer. Like, your stuff is
absolutely.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Absolutely.
Thanks. I really appreciate that. It's cool to know anybody watches, let alone that they like it.
It's so good.
And I think I mentioned this at KFL too, and I'm going to repeat it every time we get to fucking talk. We need to work on something.
Yeah.
Dude, man, I'd love to. I'd honestly like to sometime. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jake.
So those are my things. Check me out. Yeah.
So what's everyone planning on doing with the rest of their week? What are they watching, playing? Jake?
Deadpool 2. I need to see that. I'm going to see it tomorrow.
Same.
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
By tomorrow,
it's real good.
Tuesday, so because this won't come out until Monday. I'm going to see that, and then I forgot Solo was coming out. Going to be seeing that. And then
got my tickets for that. Draft House, Yo-Yo.
Hell yeah. Did you get the glass?
No, I'm really picky about glasses. I only have one mono glass, and it's actually the Crimson Peak one.
That was really sick.
Yeah.
I love filling it with like red soda and giving it like a blood rush.
I wish I had a Draft House around here. They're all
I don't have one.
away.
I still have a.
I will say, the ones I regret not buying are the Infinity War ones. Those look really cool, but those are pre-order only. Those are hard to get a hold of, but I'm gonna try. Those are actually really nice looking.
I did tell myself, because I used to do like all the. So I told myself only the Star Wars ones for now, because I'm just out of it. I even have like the Suicide Squad one and stuff.
Yo.
There's a movie I never want to see ever again. I forgot about that one.
It has good parts.
Again, if you look closely at your MP3, you'll notice Mike.
It did win an Oscar, right?
And shout out to Ryan Scott for letting me steal his jokes, because those are all Ryan Scott jokes.
The last thing is Detroit. Finally get to play that game. I might stream that game too.
I'll probably watch that stream, because I don't know if I'm going to play the game. Quantic Dream games sound cool, they look cool, but at the same time, there's a certain lifelessness in the characters that takes me out a lot. I mean, I don't really, and it's not that it's not realistic enough, it's just that I feel like it really rests in that uncanny valley. Like, I feel like if it went more stylized and didn't go for so realistic,
that makes sense.
I didn't feel that way with Heavy Rain, but when Beyond Two Souls came out, I think that's when I felt that. I couldn't get into that one. But
I'll probably check out some streams though instead.
Twitch.tv, Jake P47.
Yeah.
Hey, you checked it out today, Mike. Got the nice green screen.
Is that nothing else to do?
I know.
Oh yeah, how's that working out for you?
It worked. It looked pretty good. How did it look on your end?
It looked great.
Okay.
Seriously.
Yeah. I'm gonna get 2 more lights. I'm gonna take out this lamp that I have because it's just a crappy lamp just to get some light in. But I actually got 2 really nice lamps coming in tomorrow that I'm gonna.
Did you get the ring lamps?
Yeah. Actually, I did. Yep. So gonna.
You're the big times now.
I'm gonna be professional.
You made it, kid.
Not Twitch affiliate yet, but when we get there, it's gonna be super professional. So that's my week.
Cool, Mike.
Same Solo, Detroit. Since there's nothing really before Detroit that I want to play like gaming wise, because God took the steam out of everything. I think I'm gonna finally dive into Lost in Space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been wanting to do it since
it looks good. It looks
great. And I also want to do. What's up?
I think once you get through that first episode, just keep watching it, because don't stop like me. Like, I stopped after the first episode, and I need to go back to it.
Yeah. And I also want to check out Cargo. You know Cargo? It's a Martin Freeman Netflix film, zombie flick.
I heard about this.
The premise is the rules of this world. As you get big, you have exactly to turn. And Martin Freeman plays a single father who has his baby, and he gets bit, and he has 24 hours to get her to safety. It's an interesting concept. I might check that out tonight. if I'm not too dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got. Matt?
Me, so I'm not picking up. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands there. I'm not picking up
Jazz
Detroit
hands.
this week. That's to be TBA if I pick it up. TBD. But
TBC.
the what's it called? Bloodstained, the retro game.
Fuck, that's this week.
That comes out on the 24th. So in 3 days.
Shoot.
So I'm gonna be playing that on Switch. And then Dark Souls Remastered comes out on Friday. So I picked that up on PS4. I'm gonna be playing that.
Also, the Mega Man collection comes out tomorrow.
Oh, that's
on
right.
Switch.
I'm not picking that up. I'm waiting for X.
I pre-ordered both already.
I already have Mega Man Legacy Collection on PS4, so it's
Not on the go though.
I'll get it what's on sale, but like the price, what, $40 for those games at this point? It's like, come on.
Yeah, that's fine. Switch tax.
I think I didn't realize that we were talking about like our pimped out Twitters and stuff when I was talking earlier.
That's later. Yeah, that'll be later.
So I mean, as far as like what I'm playing or watching, like I really want to play some of the games that are out right now. But one of my resolutions was to like finally beat the games that I started because I have such a bad habit of quitting or getting sidetracked. So
Christian,
the most recent game that I picked up. Yeah, the most recent one I picked up that I'm like, I'm not going to get God of War or anything else until I beat this game is Ni no Kuni 2. Which I'm only a few hours in, and it's cool so far. It's nice, but my day job, I work at a restaurant, and it's kind of exhausting. And so sometimes when you come home from work, it is easy to just throw on YouTube or Netflix or something than to, the first Ni no Kuni 2 I played when I had a much easier job, so I had like more time and more energy to play, like to put into the grind of an RPG. So I just need to find the time, but I think seeing the quality of games that are coming out is definitely going to be a good motivator to be like, all right, put in the hours, get in the story, and then so I can keep going,
Yeah, for sure.
So probably be playing a little Ni no Kuni 2, and as far as backlog stuff, I started Yakuza Kiwami, which that's been really fun too. I love that kind of combat, just like brawling, and so I want to finish that. That way I can keep playing my backlog games too. I have so many backlog games. Shout out to a kind of funny best friend who I met at CJ's Wings in Mizzou, who gave me his Vita. I had a Vita before, but it broke during a production on a short film, actually. And so he had it with him, and I was like, oh, cool, yeah. Like, it's like, oh, well, I'm giving this one away, actually. And if I don't find anyone else that needs one, I'll let you know. And so at the end of the night, yeah, he pulls me over and he's like, hey, yeah, like, you earned this. You've been working all day shooting with the guy, so here you go. And so it was really nice of him. I forgot to get his name. I feel really bad, but I definitely want to reach out and find him so I can give him proper thanks. Because when I did have my original video, I had started Persona 4, and I got up to Kanji's. I don't know if y'all have played the game or not.
Yeah,
that is
various bits.
Yeah.
Not for me.
But like the third, I'm in like the dungeon, so now I get to finally continue that game.
Nice.
So
that's my favorite game of all time. Persona 4 Golden. Loved it.
Yeah, Christian, you don't have to feel bad about backlogs because 80% of this I haven't finished.
Yeah. I feel better now because I thought those were all games
all those.
All these like retro games right here on this shelf, I've probably finished all those because games back in the day were a lot quicker to beat. But...
And you probably play those again before you actually go back through the backlog. Just how it works.
But yeah, that's a little about me this week.
Sweet. Well, thank you all for listening to Three Best Friends Podcast Main Course. Please follow us at 3BF Podcasts Twitter and Instagram. Please subscribe to us on YouTube. Once we have 100 followers, we can change our link.
Yo,
who knows?
The current link that it currently is. We're just going to keep it the same.
Right, yeah, we're just going to copy and paste it.
Yeah.
It's just a whole bunch of garbled junk. We're also on Apple Podcasts and Google Play Music, which still a little weird roundabout way to get to podcasts, but whatever. Please send any questions or feedback to our Twitter, Instagram, or our email, the number 3, bestfriendspodcast@gmail.com. All righty. Jake, where can people find you?
Jake P47 on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. Follow me on Twitch. I need your help to get Twitch affiliate. Thank you. You, right in there. You.
Great for audio.
This is great radio.
Oh, this is going to be awesome now that we're uploading the videos. Like, if this actually works and we upload the video, this is going to be...
Don't jinx it.
Hey, it's all on me, right?
It is.
Yeah. All right, Mike, where can people find you?
You can find me at Nope, I fucked that up. You can find me at Tedro1214. That's TEDRO12. Everyone, Instagram.
All the numbers.
Yeah, all the numbers.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they did.
TEDRO1214, motherfuck.
1214, I got it.
Everywhere, Twitter, Instagram, PlayStation, Xbox, all that good stuff. And also all my audio stuff at MikeToundro_audio on Instagram and MikeToundro.com.
And for anybody that didn't hear the first part, that is TEEDRO1214. Just in case.
I'll figure out this microphone thing. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Whatever.
It's not like it's our first podcast or anything.
And then Christian, again, where can people find you?
Yeah, I'm on all social media. PixelBrave, that's Twitter, Instagram, not Snapchat so much. Instagram's really been leveling up their game. So yeah, Twitter, Instagram, PSN, talk to me about movies, anime, whatever you like. I guess that's another thing I pimp out. Definitely check out my Twitter because I'm posting whenever I do eventually release the anime podcast that I plan on producing. I'd love to. It's definitely going to be like something that I'm catering towards the kind of funny community, and would love to have you guys on or anyone that wants to talk anime. It's not so much about me, but more about me talking to other people about anime. So
when you're ready to talk about Attack on Titan or Dragon Ball,
Attack on Titan's one of those movies I watch again because it was very, very scary, very dark.
Oh yeah.
Everybody screamed all the time.
Yeah.
Argue with me about it on my Twitter and on my anime show, which I'm still working on the name. I have a name I like, but I don't know if it works. I'll say it when we stop recording.
If you need help with if you need help with names of episodes, I suggest Matt because that guy comes up with names like I don't know how. Like,
I'll workshop it. You'll be my first test person. We'll see. I'll let you know what I'm thinking right now.
Sounds good.
Awesome. And you can find me at Shibs42 on Twitter and Instagram. Again, thank you all for listening. You're all lovely. We'll see you next week.
Hey, Mike.
Yes.
Hit the music.
Bye.